This is the 2016 Fiat 500. It is one of the cutest and most quirky cars you can buy right now. But this isn't any old Fiat, so let me slip into something more comfortable and I'll tell you all about it. Well, friends, this Fiat is so unique because it's the 1957 Special Edition model. It's a throwback to the original 500s from the good old days. So what makes this little cutie so retro? It gets special pastel colors, a white roof and mirror caps, a unique interior with this pretty brown interior and cream dash panels. I also love the fact that these little Fiat badges have been swapped out for 1950s style ones, and these cute 16-inch color-matched dog dish wheels are just darling, aren't they? Besides those styling upgrades, a couple nips and tucks here and there, and a few tech upgrades, the basic architecture for the 500 is basically unchanged. So it's the same car that's been available since 2011. What that means is that there's still a lot wrong with it. The seating position is entirely awkward and really uncomfortable. It has huge blind spots for such a tiny car. It's terrible over rough roads, and it's really slow and not very practical. The 500 has always been full of flaws, but they're so easy to forgive because the car is just so damn charming. It's stupidly easy to park, it's far too fun to drive, and it's still one of the most stylish small cars money can buy. Darting around the city, it's just impossible to be in a bad mood while driving this car. This Fiat 500 is powered by a 1.4-liter four-cylinder engine that's hooked up to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The car makes 101 horsepower and 97 pound-feet of torque, which is really tiny, but you have to remember that the car is so small, so it doesn't take a lot of power to get it going, so the car feels a lot faster than those numbers suggest. I drive it almost exclusively in sport mode because it makes the shift sharper while holding gears for longer, and it makes the steering more direct. Again, this is definitely not a sporty car, but its tiny size makes it hilarious to drive. With a little turning circle and its subcompact size, it's perfect for city life, but that little footprint and those tiny tires mean that the 500 gets beat up over rough roads. One of the biggest changes this Fiat gets is that it finally gets a 5-inch touchscreen, and this is the first time it's ever been available, and it makes the car so much easier to live with. Fiat uses a version of FCA's Uconnect, which is one of the most user-friendly systems out there. This is more of a light version of that because it has a similar look and feel, but it doesn't have all the same features or usability as the full versions. And it also gets a volume knob. The old one didn't have one, and I hated that. If I were in the market for a Fiat 500, this 1957 edition is how I'd spec it if it wasn't in a Barth. It's just so charming and fun to drive, and all the upgrades make it even more likable. It's more of a fashion statement than a car, and if you want a little car with a big personality, this 1957 edition is the one you want.